Welcome and welcome back, everybody, to the OK Grognard Show. Today is Monday, June 27th, 2022, 10 a.m. Central in beautiful Lake Geneva, Wisconsin. So, what's going on today? Still looking pretty dark there. Yeah, we'll get this studio thing settled up over the break. Today, we're talking about. Good morning, Sarah. Welcome. We're talking about the first half of 2022 for the show and a new first edition game I'm got set up now. That's starting to go. That's a blast. We just did our character generation session and did a little background stuff. Interesting. They're in the village of Smiteborn. Yeah, you can't see this. Not very well, anyway. It's a modified Dyson Logos village map. We did some work with the players and their characters regarding individuals they might know in town already, right from the start. Sort of set up the mentor program so that they'd each have at least one, if not a few individuals they're aware of. And then we spent some time also making some connections between the characters so that they are stakeholders in one another's lives. So they have some reason to travel with one another or to protect one another or to adventure with one another or any number of one another's. So there you go. 3 women, 2 men playing in the game. That makes us 3-3 at the table, which is a good thing. Too often, and it's the nature of who's available to play sometimes, and so it goes. But too often, we're a little male heavy in groups I've run. So this is a refreshing change to that, and I don't know that it'll make any difference. Players are players. We'll see how it goes, and certainly there's no reason I should just automatically attribute any differences to the genders of the individuals playing either. People are people. People choose to play how they choose to play. We're going to have some fun, that's for sure. There's some banging on downstairs as a man with a hammer works on the space below, so pardon that, but I don't want to put off the show hoping that it'll stop anytime soon because they might be in it for the long haul. 2 human fighters in the group. 1 male, 1 female. Halfling thief, female, and a female human cleric, and an elf magic user. So, elf magic user and halfling thief, and then 3 humans, 1 cleric, 2 fighters. It's an interesting breakdown for the group, too. It gives us all I think what dragons call the basic food groups, plus an extra fighter, just in case. And, oh, well, I've been informed by Sarah in the chat that the background noise hadn't been heard, so maybe the microphone on this headset's a little more distinguishing than I had thought it was. It sounds pretty loud here, even with my noise canceling headphones on, so maybe it's just the vibrations that are making me think it's a loud thing. So the first half of 2022, we were very heavy this year on rules from the Dungeon Master's Guide as well as interpretations of those. Bing. And that's okay because there's a lot to go through in there. In fact, if you've been following the show just over the last month, 2 months, I've delved finally into the magic items section of the Dungeon Master's Guide for First Edition Advanced Dungeons and Dragons, and I haven't gotten that far into it despite a good number of shows. Keeping the shows under a half hour, sometimes for some audiences, that's not even short enough for them to click and watch. And that's fair. People have busy lives. Um, I think part of what I need to do is set up some playlists from the last 2.5 years of shows so that people can search and find things a little more easily. They can hard target things they're interested in amongst the videos that I've already created, and they can decide from that. And kind of realized it was something I wanted to do last year and just never got around to. And then with Ray Harryhausen's birthday, the guru of claymation and stop motion photography special effects for classic fantasy movies, the Sinbad movies, Clash of the Titans, Mysterious Island, all of those, and I did a series. I think I did 7 different movies that we took a look at, both reviewing the movie, enjoying the movie, but also reviewing the special effects, but also looking at it from the perspective of a dungeon master in some regards so that we could see our unique way of looking at films like that. Well, anyway, with that birthday, even though he passed some years ago now, um, the anniversary of his birth coming up in 2 days, and people started talking about it a little bit, and naturally, I pointed someone to one of the reviews, and I could do a search, get all the Harryhausen ones under one search. But ultimately, if I'd had a playlist I could just point to, that would have been a lot more useful in the moment. So, something I need to do at some point. There are a lot of old videos at this point, and having them organized in a way that makes them more useful, it's just a thing I should do. So, we'll see. We'll see if I can find some time. The hiatus this year, because of the way Mondays fall, um, was extended a little bit. So after this show, we got no shows in July. But the first show on the other side of the hiatus is Monday, August 1st. So we do get to come back. Um, we may spend some time at the top of that show talking about adjustments we made to the show, or the way it's set up, or any of the things we might have changed. We may just launch right back into the magic item series, or we might wait till the following Monday to kick that back off, depending on how much admin we need to take care of coming back from the hiatus. In any event, it's going to be 4 weeks, right, before we return. 5 weeks actually, as it happens, which is fine. It's good to take a break, get some other things under our belt. I've got the campaign to work on, plenty to do there for sure, and I'm looking forward to it. Really is great to get back to the table with a good group of players and to be doing it. Hey, for those who don't know, Lake Geneva Games is open for its summer hours, which is to say, the uh, the traditionally closed day of Tuesday is now an open day. I'll be running my games on Tuesdays, just every other Tuesday though. Tomorrow night I'll actually be working the register. I think I'm not sure. I better check the schedule. I'll make sure that's true before I tell people that. I also want to let people know I have some apologies. I did not make it to Nexus as I had planned to. Early last week, I found out that my folks were coming back into town. Uh, Over the course of the week, they had delayed it for a while. They're getting up there. My pop's going to be 90 in July, and he dealt with having a stroke earlier this year, and then he and his wife both wound up getting COVID, and they had pushed back getting into town, but they wound up managing to do it earlier this week, and I wanted to be available for that. So I had some family obligations and a couple other things that came up that I had to deal with. Anyway, early last week I canceled my hotel stay in Brookfield and went down and returned my tickets for the various events. I sent an email. I never heard back. I don't know if some of the emails get filtered out or whatnot. I might have to hit people up with with private messaging to make sure all of that got through and got settled. But it is what it is, and it's a real shame too because 3 years ago I picked up a VIG badge to go to Nexus, and then it got canceled because of the lockdown, and then it got canceled because of COVID, and cancel. Waiting so long because I had never missed a Nexus since they started, and it's a shame I had to miss one this year, but couldn't be helped. So sad as it was, and it was sad, it's a real shame. What else do we want to deal with before we shut this down? Well, we're about 15 minutes in. I guess we can leave it at that. Sarah, anything thinking of? Anybody else in the chat want to ask a random question or find out some information about something that maybe I've forgotten to mention or bring up? I suppose we could just make this a nice little pre-hiatus farewell show and leave it at that and move on. Nah, good short show? Okay. Super. Yeah, I'm thinking the same thing too. All right, well, I want to thank everybody for a great first half of 2022. I'd like to thank everybody for helping continue to make the channel interesting and fun for me to do. I love doing it. I'm going to keep doing it. Um, Even if I'm yelling down a well sometimes, doesn't matter to me. I enjoy doing it, so that's how that works. So thank you very much. And that is also to say, this has been the 2022 first half wrap up and a little discussion about the new 1E campaign game that I've got set up here on Monday, June 27th at the OK Grognard Show. I'd also like to say the show streams live on Twitch, back again starting August 1st on each Monday and thereafter at 10 a.m. Central, and then it's archived on YouTube. Thanks to our Patreon supporters. Links will be provided in the show notes. Tom Tullis of Fat Dragon Games, Rick Hershey of Fat Goblin Games, Carlos Slicing of Castle Entertainment, Heath Farndon of the AD&D 20, Dave O'Brien of 4 Quacks Games, and of course, Shane Bradley, DM Extraordinaire. This has been, I should mention, streaming on Twitch, archived on YouTube. Just search by the OK Grognard Show and you will find all of the old shows. Watch a few of them over the hiatus. Make some comments, give some thumbs up. Be sure to click on the little bell after you subscribe so you get updates for new shows that are uploaded. Thank you very much for watching. This has been the OK Grognard Show from beautiful Lake Geneva, Wisconsin. Bye-bye.